Hello and welcome to Daily Reflection with Aneel Aranha. Today is the 22nd of July 2018. We're going to reflect on Mark chapter 6 verses 30 to 34. The apostles gathered around Jesus and told him all that they had done and taught. He said to them, "Come away to a deserted place all by yourselves and rest for a while." For many were coming and going, and they had no leisure even to eat. And they went away in the boat to a deserted place by themselves. Now many saw them going and recognized them, and they hurried there on foot from all the towns and arrived ahead of them. As he went ashore, he saw a great crowd, and he had compassion for them, because they were like sheep without a shepherd, and he began to teach them many things. The Gospel of the Lord. I love this little passage and have reflected upon it so many times. Although it is very short, there are so many things that one can learn from it, but I'd like to just pick one little thing to reflect upon. The disciples have gone out on mission for more than a few days, and when they return, they go straight to Jesus and report all that has happened and all they have done. Now just think about it for a moment. How difficult it must have been for them in first century Palestine, talking about a person that nobody knew and declaring him to be God. How much easier it is for us these days. But let us leave that for now. What this little narrative suggests to us is that no matter what we do and how well we do it, we must always return to our Master for what you might call a debriefing. This is providing information to our Master, but also receiving further instructions and advice on how to proceed. This is something that I do, not only after every mission that I go on, but also after any event that takes place in my life that I could use some counsel about. Counsel is one of the 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit that the prophet Isaiah talks about. It is not the gift of counseling others, but the gift of seeking counsel from God. It is a gift that is highly underestimated, but one only has to consider the story of Adam and Eve to see what an important gift it is to have. When they were in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve were tempted by the devil. He fed them all sorts of lies that they just swallowed. If they only had sought the counsel of God, things would have turned out so very different. Now, there is the tendency for all of us, every single one of us, to take decisions on our own without consulting with anybody, even God. We get married, we take up jobs, we start projects and do a million other things just on impulse or whim. This is probably where the saying arose, "Fools rush in where angels fear to tread." The result, as we often discover in due time, is how foolish those decisions were. What does it cost us to take a few minutes out, or even a few days out, and talk to God about it? Now, does this rule out impulsiveness completely? No, it doesn't. But even impulsiveness needs to have the approval of God. As one simple example, consider the highly impulsive Peter. He saw Jesus walking on water one day, and his first impulse was to do the same. But he wasn't going to do it without the blessing of Jesus. So he said, "Lord, you command me to come to you on the water." So before you take your next decision, check it out with God. And when you have done what you have to do, report back to Him. God bless you.